able to manage.
Okay, as
Things.
long as someone's watching.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
We ready? Yep. All right, I've got 6:30, so we'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. This is the January 8th, 2024 meeting of the Merrimack Conservation Commission. Let's see, I know we won't have Danielle tonight, nor Ellen, so let's see. Tom, would you sit in as a voting member for Ellen tonight? Thank you. All right, there's no public hearing scheduled, so that brings us to our first order of business, which is the review of a shoreline permit application from New Hampshire DOT regarding the F.E. Everett Turnpike widening project. The project, New Hampshire DOT 13761A, proposes to widen the roadway from 2 to 3 lanes in each direction with the addition of a northbound and southbound travel lane. The project begins just north of Tinker Road overpass at exit 8 in Nashua and continues north for approximately 2.2 miles, ending approximately 400 feet north of Industrial Drive overpass at exit 10 in Merrimack. The proposed project also involved the replacement of existing bridges that carry the turnpike over Bowers Pond and stormwater drainage improvements. We all got in our packet an electronic version of this. It is very similar to, there's really no action required in this. It was a notification only. It's very similar to what we talked about at considerable length during our last meeting. You also are all copied on the, as a result of our last meeting, we agreed that we would send that, that email to New Hampshire DOT and New Hampshire DES, and you should have all been copied on that correspondence.
no response from that yet?
No response, and I'm really not sure how long, or if we get a response, or if how long we would wait. I don't even know if it's appropriate at some point to follow up, or
That letter was a follow-up, because they received that
Mhm.
similar type of letter at least 3 or 4
on
times from us.
multiple occasions,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah,
So can I clarify based on what I've read, because I wasn't at the last meeting, but I've read everything. If they don't accept the land swap or the land transfer,
As a mitigation.
right, then the mitigation money goes to the state but not to Merrimack.
Precisely.
Or
it
could.
goes to the state fund, and
Right.
anybody in the state can
Can
apply for those permits. So it's not necessarily not going to come up. We
Okay,
have,
but we would have to go
we
in.
have to have projects ready to be submitted to be,
Right.
Okay.
suggested for that.
So can I suggest that if they don't accept it, we come up with a project?
Sure.
Sure.
I mean, we can cross that bridge
Yeah,
when it
we-
comes, but
We've talked about this a lot in the past, is having shelf-ready projects. We got, I think, only a couple left.
okay.
But
So we do have some in our back pocket,
uh, I- we may-
somewhat.
no, I think we may have used the last one that, because we got that parcel. I think I'd have to go back.
Mm.
Yeah, it's been a bit.
Yeah.
But the concept, I mean, yes, if you've got, for any of us and any of the
Yeah.
subcommittees, if there's parcels, if there's any type of wetland mitigation type
Mhm.
of project, we have a couple local folks that have been in the past very willing to come down and kind of give us a survey, quick thing. Yeah, this would be something that would work, or don't bother.
Could an invasives management be a mitigation that could get funded from the state?
Potentially, I mean,
Mhm.
it's a wetlands impact,
Yes.
and we know we've got a lot of it
Yeah.
right in town. It's you know, the knotweed is crazy.
That's exactly the one I was
So-
thinking of.
So
If we end up
yeah,
needing
I mean,
to fall back on something else.
yeah, I mean, we'd have to, yeah, we can inquire about it.
Okay.
We got a couple contacts local, obviously state is the cooperative extension's been very helpful in the past, but we've got a couple, people we've just talked with in the past. We can just call them.
Okay.
Say, hey, is that something that fits into the ARM fund
right.
type of
Project.
I don't
project?
think there are any hard, fast rules of that either. It can be a parcel, it can be an invasive control. It could simply be curing erosion that's occurring.
As long as it's
Yeah, I mean, like, the
conservation focused.
so look, I'll give you, we thought we had one slam dunk, like this is exactly what we wanted to do, and that was the road that the South Greater Road as it transverses from the backside of Greater Woods out to is it, what's the goes to Amherst. I can't come up with the name of the street.
On Parish?
No. Comes from Boosick Lake Road.
Oh,
Wilson,
County Road.
Wilson Hill?
What?
Is it Wilson Hill?
Wilson Hill Road, thank you. Yeah, so the backside of Greater Woods, South Greater Road goes out to Wilson Hill Road. That we declassified a section of that road. It was a class 6 road. We declassified a section of it, so we put the gates up. And that's where the road goes down into, the pond has become so big now, it's encompassed the road. So we're like, okay, can we, and GZA went down there with us to research, to, survey it and say, yeah, is this a project that would fit into ARM fund? Is bringing this road back up to grade? And they walked down and was like, no, don't bother.
Just leave it.
Just this is not going to get
not
any
worth the
it's not going to
funds.
get traction for you. So it's not worth trying to fix, because building roads is expensive.
Yes.
And so that was part of that project, was trying to build another bypass to get into the backside of Greater Woods, because you can't get to that back section now. And that the Gateway Trail only goes to Bambi Road. I can't come up with street names tonight.
Okay.
No.
Mike's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm struggling. So
Sounds good.
yeah, so I mean, we thought we had a great one, and they're
Yeah.
like, no, no.
Okay.
So we should, if we have a couple plans, anyone's got plans, we can make a couple dates and go walk them and check them out, and if they're great, we can make them shelf ready, and then when something like this comes up, that's
We can pitch it.
pitch it.
I don't, and as far as this is what we talked about last meeting was a dredge and fill permit. This is the shoreland impacts. But it's the same project. The other one was a certain phase of the project. This one, I think, is for all 5 phases or 4 phases. But I don't know that there's another action that we would take now. I mean, I don't think there was a level of discomfort in any of us that the right things were happening in terms of minimizing the impact on wetlands, providing or protecting wetlands during the construction and so forth. I think it was just all about the mitigation.
There.
There are.
So I have a strange minor comment, and only because I'm an OCD engineer. But in the listing of what this project is, it continues north for approximately 2.2 miles, ending approximately 400 feet north of the Industrial Drive overpass. Shouldn't that be 400 feet south? That's where the 2-lane section already turns to 3 lanes. It's about 400 feet south.
I don't know. Do you know if it's the same in here? Maybe it's just wrong on our.
I don't know. I just thought I would mention that.
Yeah. You could be right. Maybe it's just wrong on the agenda. Anyone else felt like there was something we should do or say or act upon at this time? No? Okay. We've met the obligation by reviewing it. Next item under new business is Wildcat Falls Subcommittee meeting. And the schedule and so forth. And the reason I put this on there, Karis, I think I gave her bad advice first on, but initially I know there's some interest. And ma'am, what was your name?
Carol.
Carol. If you want, you mind coming right up?
Just press the button
Make sure
to.
Carol and at least one other person have expressed interest in
More like
in
6
joining the
other people?
subcommittee. Yeah, there's a growing list.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
we've done this a number of ways in the past. We can take a letter of interest from an interested person, just a paragraph that summarizes why they're interested, what expertise they might have. Not that any are required. But just the passion for wanting to serve on one of these committees is really all that we ask. But we can do it that way, and we can take them here and talk about them and appoint them, or we've done it so many different ways. And now that there's a queue of people building, thanks to our social media initiative, I didn't know if we wanted to streamline that process where we're not doing that every meeting. Maybe we're doing them at the annual meeting. What I recommended to Karis maybe was, maybe it's better for them rather than come see us, which some people have problems making this meeting. It's only twice a month. Rather than coming here, maybe they sit on a subcommittee meeting.
Which unfortunately, I mean, aside from Wildcat not meeting right now,
Yeah.
they only meet like quarterly or bi-monthly.
And
as
quarterly
well.
is the expectation, and I think we might have misunderstood the quorum rules. So I did clarify this with community development. They helped me parse through this, so it's a little different. All these subcommittees have different charters based on whatever. Wildcat was a 2012 charter, so it defines the membership as 5 full-time members, one of which is the the rep, not an ex officio, but a rep to the Conservation Commission. And there are 3 alternates whom only vote when one of the full-time members is absent. So therefore, the quorum for that subcommittee is 3.
Oh, so
It's
they
a
can
majority.
be.
Yeah. So it's a majority of the 5, not a majority of the 8.
Of the
And I
8.
think I, for one, misunderstood that until it was clarified for me.
So they can be meeting right now.
They could meet. Not that we're thrilled to
I know,
have you
we-
here.
Need the backup.
As you can see, we had seats. We weren't sold out tonight. So
Well,
we're thrilled
one
to have you
person's
here.
sick,
I
they
just,
can't meet.
but if
Yeah.
you really don't want to know necessarily what we meet and talk about, you more want to know what this group is like, what their routines are. What I say this group, the subcommittee. If you weren't sure which subcommittee you might be interested in giving time to, then maybe this is the right place to start. But I just don't want to just take people use their time here when really what they want to do is help the
See the
subcommittee. They want to go, do a field day, do whatever work needs to happen on the property. They'd much rather be in the woods generally than here.
So do we still require Conservation Commission approval?
We still
for
have
new
to appoint, yeah.
okay.
But
So I
we
have
just don't want to be a
asked-
speed bump in that process. I mean,
Okay.
open this up to whoever has an idea to best
Okay.
accomplish that.
I have asked Andrew if Karen couldn't make it, which it looks like she can't.
Yeah.
To talk about the subcommittee and what's involved, or like how often they met and meet and what they work on and like what's involved in being on the subcommittee.
And I'm happy to do that. So, and I speak only for the Wildcat Falls Subcommittee. I don't really know how any of the other subcommittees work. I gather SCLAR seems to meet twice a day or something. They're very busy over there. We meet typically quarterly for a short meeting. They last about an hour. It's focused on trail maintenance and cleanup procedures, requests we need to make from the Conservation Commission for projects, the town DPW if we need the road maintained or some gravel put down, something like that. In the past, we've had very busy times where we laid out new trails, made a new map, built trail markers for the entire property, cut new trails through the property, and built a bridge and several other assorted projects. The park pretty much maintains itself now, so there's relatively little to do. We tend to go on occasional hikes, just recreational more than anything. We are a dog-friendly group, and that's about all there is to say about it. It's a very low-key thing. We don't have to deal with the kinds of projects you just heard going on here. We don't get dredge and fill permits or wetlands mitigation things or anything. But in regards to the wetlands mitigation, I'll call it the second half of the Wildcat Falls property. Have you been to Wildcat Falls?
A lot.
Okay, so the half of it that is towards the highway does not belong to us. It belongs to the state of New Hampshire.
Okay.
And we are not really supposed to call that Wildcat Falls, although there are trails on it and they are marked on our map. We are hoping to negotiate to acquire that land from the state in the near future. We've been working on that for several years. It will be hopefully part of a mitigation project from this widening of the Everett Turnpike. And then it will officially be Wildcat Falls, and that will almost double our acreage. I think that's 68 acres. We have 81 right now. So. And that's about it, you know?
So I guess the question, the reason we put it on the agenda too, so how do we want to, there's a number of these subcommittee appointments we have forthcoming. Do we want to put them on the agenda next one? Do you want to schedule a Wildcat meeting and invite them to the next Wildcat meeting?
We can certainly do that now that we know we have quorum.
Whatever everyone thinks makes most sense.
And then I can send you and Karen the list of people interested.
Okay.
And I keep looking at Karis because she's the one fielding all these requests. and
Okay,
It's
well-
been a significant number of them recently.
And
Where are we gonna track who's requested to join?
Karis is
and
one?
which subcommittee?
And which
they would-
subcommittee?
Which they would be interested in, because some of them may just want to be on a subcommittee.
So far, they all responded to a Wildcat Falls
Oh,
post.
We did all fill up, well, I know we were
Yes.
asking to do a letter.
Yeah, so they did
Oh,
all include a
that's
paragraph.
right, because I spoke to Mike Druin at the last meeting about how we weren't making our quorum anymore and we couldn't meet. And so he must have advertised Wildcat Falls,
Yes.
but I think pretty much every other subcommittee still has vacancies, even though they're
Yes.
probably meeting quorum.
I did say to him that, I go to all three of them. I'd be happy to do any of them as,
Oh,
Okay.
awesome.
oh, sorry.
Push the button.
Hey,
Is the light on?
Yes, it
Yes,
is now.
So, since we have
mhm.
our friend here,
Mhm.
can you tell us a little bit about? I mean, your interest is obviously that you. Well, I'll let you say. What is your interest in?
Well, my interest is, I've been in Merrimack since 1985. Raised 3 kids here and retired a year ago last August. So I just spend a lot of times out on the trails and hiking and just on a daily basis, pretty much at all the different trails. A lot of time at Greater Woods. I'm right near Greater Woods. But again, a lot of time at Wildcat also. So I just figured, I saw the message on there and figured it's time to step up and help out. And so that is, I would like to help with the subcommittee, and I'm good for physical if we need to do trail maintenance or any of those things. And of course, I can always drag my husband along.
I do that.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
wonderful.
we do occasional light trail maintenance. It's usually not a whole lot, although we've had some pretty bad storms in the last couple of months. So I think our next spring cleanup might be a bit more. And we're not allowed to use chainsaws anymore. So any trees that are down, we have to mark and get DPW to.
Just go at it with
Okay.
a hacksaw and an axe.
So Andrew, when is the next Wildcat?
We have none
You
scheduled.
don't have one scheduled?
No.
When would it be?
Um,
Can we put you on the spot? Would it be February? Would it be March? Would it be January?
probably would have been January. It probably would have been right about now.
So now that we know you have, would it be your,
But we'd be happy to schedule one if,
Okay.
for no other reason than to.
I
Okay.
think that's the next best move, right? And then we'll
Yeah.
put these, you can certainly attend the meeting. You don't need to be appointed. We'll put you on our next agenda. We can do,
Yeah, meetings are open,
Appointment
so
meeting.
even before you're a member or
Okay.
on the
Yeah.
subcommittee, you're welcome to attend and
Okay.
participate.
Good.
Yeah, this and all the subcommittee meetings are always open to the public.
Okay.
Unless we're doing certain very specific business
Mhm.
with the
Then-
purchase.
Then it has to
et
be
cetera.
advertised as a
as non-public meeting.
non-public.
Right. Can you, for the record, remind me of your full name again?
Yeah, it's Carol Peabody.
That was it.
Yep.
Thank you.
Do we all agree that's the way, I mean, would these new members recommend they attend the subcommittee meeting first? Harvest their information, then we'll put them, consolidate kind of and put them all in one ballot. I think that's the way the town council generally does it, right?
Probably more efficient.
Yeah, we get a recommendation from whether it be the Park and Recs or the Conservation Commission, we get a recommendation
Mm-hmm.
from them that includes members of the town council on the interview committee. And then it's presented to the town council and we vote.
Yeah. Yeah, where we don't have an appointment committee, it just seems like that's a more streamlined process. Have them meet with the subcommittee, invite them to meet with the subcommittee.
Then have the subcommittee come forth with a
Or
recommendation.
just put together a paragraph and we'll.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Okay.
okay. Oh,
So what are we gonna do if it, again, quarterly meetings? If you've just had your meeting and now, and someone wants to join, we're gonna make them wait?
no, we don't need to.
Yeah.
I mean, we can call an audible, I suppose.
We can also request that they
Mm.
potentially hold a special meeting.
Just for this one.
They
thing.
can meet more than quarterly. They just have to
They
be
can,
quarterly.
and
This
I'm
is
glad
just
you.
to be advertised.
Yes. Yeah.
And that is an opportunity. I had it kind of listed under other business, but it could go into either place. We do really need to get these community developments, but he continues to ask me for the schedules. I am working with George about getting the Scholar meeting scheduled. And he's close to having that, but I don't know that any of the subcommittees actually have their schedule.
No.
So we do need to get
I've
those because there's
requested.
RSA 91 requirements since they are subcommittees. They're not subcommittees in the town charter, but they are subcommittees. So there are requirements to make sure we have them published, make sure we get the agenda. That should really be posted 10 days out.
Yep.
Just so members of the public know if someone wanted to attend.
Well, it was a
Because
problem
certain-
because I couldn't tell them because
Mhm.
I couldn't find
That's
the
right.
list
Not,
anywhere.
not, not calling out any, not casting shame on any particular subcommittee. It's just
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
It's easy to forget that. Likewise, minutes, we gotta make sure we have the minutes and do you know what is the require, how long do you have to get minutes in?
5 business
Is
days.
it 5 business days? Okay.
Can I release Carol here?
Yeah, absolutely.
So the Conservation Commission has to approve of the
Mhm.
people that join the committee,
Exactly.
The
Just to a
subcommittees.
point.
subcommittees.
Just to formally appoint.
Okay. makes
In the
sense.
interim, while you're waiting to be appointed, if you show up and want to do something, nobody's gonna turn you down.
No, no.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, and that goes for any members of the public. I mean, our meetings are open, our work days are open,
Mhm.
the trail days, that's all open. So if anyone wants to join and participate without having to actually join the subcommittee, that's
Okay,
perfectly acceptable too, so.
great,
But we will work on
awesome,
that
All
appointment.
right.
great. I can go eat dinner.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Nice
much
meeting
for
you.
coming.
Thanks for
Thank
coming.
you.
Thank you.
It's nice to meet you all.
Take care.
Okay,
Joy.
thanks.
Thanks.
I think that wraps that up. Next one is discussion regarding annual winter carnival. The winter carnival, Parks and Recreation has published the dates for that. We've been invited again. I think other than every year since the COVID year, we've participated in the winter carnival. It is a good place to meet a lot of the community. It's been well attended because the weather has been good too the last 2 years.
What is the Winter Carnival?
Great question. So the Winter Carnival takes place up at Wasserman Park. I don't know who are the groups that usually attend. You usually have the Scouts up there. DPW will have a static display or two.
Yeah, I mean, any local group can participate. The Snowbuds go up there, and when there's snow, they give kids snowmobile rides. Was a nice ice carving
carving.
group, and so I mean, there's any fair type of
Yeah.
group can go up there and sell their wares or be part of it. So it's just a carnival. It happens to take place in the wintertime.
And then do we usually have like a table or something?
We usually have a table, so they set it usually, and you could probably go online now. It's the Park and Rec website and see they usually have a map. So you start at the parking lot. You can go either direction, but it's usually in a loop. So everyone attending, if they do the loop, walks by every booth. And in the past we've set up a table. We've put a duck box. One of the wood duck boxes, and kind of talked about the parcels. We've usually had a couple, 1 or 2 parcels featured on, we'll bring a big map, which I think are downstairs. We never seem to bring, the last couple of years, we've never really brought the Wasserman map. That's probably the one we ought to have there, but it's interesting. People who know Wasserman, a lot of them, it's amazing how few of them know that is this whole network of trails. It's
on the
also
other side.
town property. It's just,
Yeah.
yeah. It's,
They think Wasserman Park is just the park.
they think it's just the park. It's the lake, it's the beach.
Do you have the dates for the,
Yeah, it's school vacation week. It's
okay.
it's the last week of February. Oh, so it's 26th through the 1st of March. Oh, I'm sorry, it's not that. That's school vacation week. Is it the 24th and 25th?
You said it's on Parks and Rec. I'll
Yeah,
look
it is. I
I'll-
think
I'll
pretty sure
look
it's
it
the 24th, 25th. It's that first weekend
up. Okay.
going into school vacation week. But we don't have to decide on this tonight. I guess the ask here is look at your calendar if you think you can attend this. Pencil it in on your calendar. It's best if there be 2 or 3 or 4 of us that can go. I should be able to go again this year, but it can, especially if it's going to be cold. It'd be nice to be able to tap out and sub out and have somebody. If there were a few of us there, we could do that more effectively.
Yeah. Ever since they shut down that building, we used to be able to be inside. And then they shut down that building.
Yeah.
Or used that building for whatever purpose, so.
It has been nice the last
Now we
couple
gotta be
of
outside,
years.
February 24th, Saturday,
It
12
is.
to 3. 12 to 3.
Does anyone know that they would be able to attend that? It's a Saturday, right? February.
Yep,
24th?
Saturday.
I should be able to.
I think I can go.
Is it
So
just,
just the 24th?
Yeah, just the 24th. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and reserve our table then. It doesn't it costs nothing. I just they do want a head count.
Yeah, I should be able to.
And we should have enough props for
I think so.
maps and dot boxes and
Yeah.
whatever, so.
I think my wife will probably be there because the VFW usually has a table.
They do usually have a table. Yep. Let's see. All right, that brings us to 2024 seedling order.
So some of it's been ordered. We are in a similar situation we've been the last couple of years was by the time the order got put in, it was, you know, I guess the New Hampshire nursery is kind of a victim of their own success. So they are swamped with orders, and we are going to be doing the same thing we did last year, is kind of waiting for some other local organizations to have sales, and we'll be purchasing stuff from them. But it's what we can do.
Mm-hmm.
And we were significantly earlier this year than last, weren't we?
We were earlier.
Or not significantly, but we were earlier.
We were earlier.
Okay.
I think we voted and approved the funds within days of the seedlings
Yeah.
actually going on sale.
Yeah.
Which kind of brings us to the next. I don't know if there's ideas. You know, the next item on here, Fund 53 spending. So we never used to have this problem, but what we used to do is a member of this commission, once we approved the funding, whenever they I think they usually put them on sale on a Monday. There's no pre-ordering or anything. Don't you believe that's the case?
Yeah, we had to wait till they were staying there for
They
sale.
go on sale, and then
Yeah.
someone would place the order and just put it on a credit card.
Yep.
We've been discouraged from doing it that way. I don't know how other. We've had this problem sometimes with building supplies too, where finance department is happy to help us with it, but it generally has to happen Monday through Friday during business hours, so that someone in this building can pay for it over the phone.
So is the problem that we don't have a credit card, or is it the problem that we don't authorize the funding? If we were to pre-authorize the funding before they went on sale, would that help solve the problem? Or is it the fact that you need to get on there Monday morning with a credit card and be able to?
That would really be the best way to do it. And that's what, and we've done that in the past, but it's been people's personal credit cards, and getting refunded, in a check a week or two later, whatever it is. So that I think was more of what we were getting discouraged from doing.
So things are going sale Friday night or Saturday.
Well, I mean, this is a good example, but it happens with anything. I mean, we've got product that's sitting at Lowe's that I'm trying to coordinate with with the finance downstairs, so they can call Lowe's during the day and find someone that's going to be there. I'm getting there at like 10 o'clock at night or 9 o'clock or whatever to pick it up, and they're like, "What are you talking? Who? What?" It's just there's so
There-
many people in the loop now. It's just become
Right. It would be
It's-
easier to just be able to go directly
if
do
I-
it
yeah.
ourselves.
I kind of had the same problem buying supplies from Reed's Ferry Lumber to
Yep.
rebuild the bridge at Wildcat Falls.
Yep.
And I think I recall the fire department ended up getting charged for that because that was the charge code they found on their list.
And it's a difficult task for community development or anyone in the town to do because it takes a decision maker to place the order for the seedlings. So I think the way
Yeah.
it played out this year was when the town called to place the order based on the information we gave them as items as they were told, this is sold out, this is sold out, this is sold out. I think it puts them in awkward, they don't
Right.
want to
Because they
say,
can't make a
all right,
decision.
move on from
right,
Pussy Willows and let's look at your evergreens.
right.
Whereas Gage would have been, we authorized
Right.
Gage to do it. If he had a credit card,
Yeah.
it would have.
Or if we want to go, well, again, this is one instance. It would be, there's going to have to be some theoretical limit. Like I was not concerned about putting $500 on my credit card. There may not be everyone willing to do that. So it would be, I don't want to say, yeah, we can just, people use personal cards and get refunded. It's almost like we need to have some way to, we're sitting on our reserve, 153. There's got to be some way we can, either you or, as a chairman or somebody that's designated as
Treasurer.
the project manager or the treasurer or whatever has access to a debit card or some type of method to tap that fund. So we can get, I mean, and again, not to try to supplant the finance group or go around anybody. It's just that I work full time, you work full time, you work full time, and they're working their full time job. And we just don't always meet up. I'm able to do this stuff at night, and now I can't get hold of anyone downstairs. So. And vice versa, they're trying to get hold of me during the day. I'm like, I'm walking into a meeting. I can't talk right now. So
Yeah.
it's a two-way street.
I wonder if something like PayPal could be used for this. The town could set up some PayPal accounts tied to however their finance department works.
So why don't I take the action to talk to Paul and see what we can do to facilitate some easier ways for, especially like you say, most everybody works during the day, right? This is volunteer, something you do in the evening or on the weekend, and there's nobody at town hall to talk to.
And vice versa. I mean, when they're trying to get hold of me during the day, I'm like,
Right.
yeah, I can't.
Yep,
Mhm.
understand
So-
completely. So let me talk about
Okay.
whatever we do has to be, we have a procurement policy in the town of Merrimack. So whatever we have to do, whatever we do has to be in alignment with the procurement policy. But maybe we can brainstorm and figure out some ways to stay within that policy that would facilitate some of these purchases. I know one of the things, we have the same problem buying vehicles, right, through the town. And one of the things that we recently started doing is typically the department would go out and get bids, and then they would come to town council and say, hey, we got 3 bids, we'd like to purchase a vehicle. Well, vehicles have become so scarce that if they find somebody that has a vehicle, usually by the time they come to town council, that vehicle's gone. And so we pre-authorize them to spend up to a certain amount, and then they go out and try to get solicitation. And that way they're already approved. If they find the vehicle they're looking for that meets the requirements, then they've already got the authority from the town council that they can act. So let me talk to Paul and see if maybe there's something we can do that's within policy to make it easier.
That'd be great.
Yeah, because I mean, we are pre-authorizing that spend. It's not like anyone's bridled by
It's
Yeah,
just
all-
access to
it's
the
just-
money
it's just-
at the
it's
right
actually-
time.
putting the order in.
In the meantime, if you need someone who can make calls during the day for projects, send it my way.
Smile.
All right, Karis, social media update.
Our Facebook page went live on like January 1st, and I've set up posts. I can set them up 1 month in advance, so I make sure that I have at least 2 or 3 posts a week for various topics, education, just information on the Conservation Commission, meeting updates, letting people know when our next meetings are. And we've had a good response. I've been cross-posting them from my own account, sharing them to other Facebook groups. And people are engaging, and we have like 30 plus followers already, which is pretty good in my mind because it's been about a week. So
Someone's gonna have to show me how to get on Facebook.
hey, I think you can see the page without having an account. You
Oh.
just can't engage in it without an account.
And you've got plenty of material, or you're looking for?
I have about 6 months of material.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
impressive.
I have all. It took. Yeah, there's. Once the baby goes down to sleep, I have a few hours, to, and I've scheduled it all out in a calendar. What post will be when for 6
That's
months.
impressive.
What kind of information are you looking for? Like if we subcommittees, whatever, what kind of information do you want us to gather and get to you if you want? If things to post?
Well, definitely inform me of any projects and events going on, sponsored by our committee or subcommittees. I've reached out to subcommittees asking them to designate one person on the subcommittee to send me at least monthly photos or an update, something that I can post on their behalf. I can post things like the fact that we'll have a table at Wasserman at the
For the Winter Carnival.
Winter Carnival. Words. So things like that, send me photos. Just give me written. I allow the Conservation Commission to use my photos full-heartedly and without.
So did you get a chance to look at the website itself? Because we have
You have photos.
we have
Yes.
photos and they've
Yes,
been
they're
submitted
beautiful.
and people had to click that little.
Yes,
Yeah.
to make
So
sure.
all those photos that are there are available. Those should be if you
Yep.
can get to them.
Except
I've
I'm not
used
sure that link works anymore. Is
The
that the one that
sub-
goes someplace else?
No, I can see all the photos. Maybe the submission link may not work
Yeah,
anymore.
The submit a photo link,
He's in charge of the website.
yeah, the submit photo link links to some completely unrelated page.
Or unless that was the contact me page,
Might have
and that
been.
one did
Can't
not go to
remember.
a contact page. It was something. The website was something.
Well, it's been
weird.
it's been a while since I've seen photos come up, so maybe that.
Yeah.
And I think we decided that user-generated content will not be on our Facebook page.
Well, because it's a page,
okay.
and as a page, it doesn't have user.
Okay,
They can comment, but that's it.
okay. Well, and we also decided that again, because of, having to sign something that says you're allowed to publish the photo, that it was just opening up a can of worms to do that.
Oh,
So,
in terms of on the website without.
either one.
But I'm missing some. What's
So
So-
the website is different from the Facebook page. The
Right.
website is merrimack-outdoors.org.
Yep.
And I'm working on a facelift and improved content for that. And we sort of separated out the two, what the Facebook page will be for versus what the website will be for.
okay?
So,
What's gonna difference is gonna be?
So the Facebook page is daily, weekly, monthly, what's going on these days. The website is going to be a lot more static. It will have, meeting dates and such like that, but it will mostly be static, published information about our properties and about the Conservation Commission itself.
So a lot of it is just
And then-
traffic.
108 followers.
Not maybe
108?
traffic, but the amount of community.
Yes,
yeah,
it will,
Facebook is for more engagement.
right, and whereas
And the website is
for
for-
publication.
Right.
I need to access this document, or I need to contact the
Mhm.
commission. I can't do that through Facebook.
108 followers.
3 times what I thought. Look at that.
That's impressive.
Really boost my confidence. I can do this.
Well, my wife is one of them.
So's my husband.
Well, thank you for that update and thank you for getting that project up and running. Any other questions about the Facebook page? Okay, moving on. Wood duck boxes. I put this on here. This is the time of year we know you've been a part of this initiative in the past, and I tried to keep up with Gage one year. We
109.
if we get wow.
So,
You found your password that quickly? I have to go home and ask for some family support finding my password.
sorry, go on.
But so we've had some cold weather, although I guess we're going to get weather Wednesday that might ruin that. But last year we never had ice thick enough. We have 6 wood duck boxes, new ones, brand new ones. I had to move all 6 of them to get to my snowblower yesterday. So I'm really eager to replace some of these
And we get 2 old ones.
aging duck
But
boxes.
you need to be able to walk across the pond to do it.
Yes.
You do, yeah.
Yeah, the duck boxes, so everybody knows, the duck boxes are mounted on just standing snags, just old dead trees that are out in the middle of the ponds. And the concept is the ducks, they can, once they are, having their babies, they don't have to worry about ground predators. And the ducks can jump out of they can jump out of the box and they can swim around in the water
Yeah.
and not get eaten right away. So they have a chance to develop it.
You survive.
Yeah.
So I have a question. Are they wood boxes for ducks or are they boxes for wood ducks?
They're wood boxes for wood ducks.
Wood boxes.
Oh,
wood
all
ducks,
right.
Very
yes.
good.
They are
have to
wooden
be wood
boxes
ducks.
that are for the wood duck.
But they don't want to come. We need to clean them out. So they're at Greater Woods and they're Horse Hill, right?
Yeah. And there's
Yeah, I guess
I've
Yeah.
only been to the Greater Woods duck boxes.
you've been to. Okay, I think I've been to both.
Now,
I don't
does
know that I could find them all.
there's not really any. I thought we had a couple in Gilmore Hill, but
Really?
I think that pond kind of
Stop being a pond.
stopped being a pond
Does anyone have a picture of them?
of a wood duck
Or
box.
Of a wood duck
I
box
can
out
get you
in the
one
pond?
tomorrow.
That would be great.
Yeah.
'Cause then I can make
Um,
a post.
but
It'll
yeah,
be-
they,
Not close up, because I
That's
can't go
okay.
out there
Yeah,
yet.
yeah, that's fair.
but they, for them to be resettled or re-inhabited next
Yeah.
spring, what the process is, we go and clean out all the shavings. We usually take account of, you'll see broken shells for successful breeding, I guess, and sometimes you will find one that never came out of the shell. But we were keeping track of that every year.
Very careful moving because they smell bad.
Oh.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
You and I broke one. But yeah, most of them are hatched. But we empty all that out. We throw new shavings in, and get them all ready for prospective wood duck parents to move into them.
We should have enough shavings. We should have enough shavings too. Because we didn't use it at all last year, so I still have all the shavings downstairs.
Okay. So I guess the task here is if we feel like the ice is thick enough, that we can get out on there. Groups of 2 are fine. Groups of 3.
Just
we
grab
did
a
last
winter
year.
canoe. I don't know what you're talking about.
Winter canoe. If we feel like we get to that point, I have them. This isn't something we need to have a meeting to do. If
Yeah.
we feel like we get to that point and one of you feels passionate about going out and doing duck boxes, find a buddy. Ask me if I'm available. I'll join you. I'll get you the duck box. They're in my garage. We can go out and tackle this.
For the
You know
record,
where all of them are, right?
I could find them easy enough.
Yeah.
easily enough.
Gage knows where all of them are. I'm pretty sure I can find all the ones at Horse Hill.
There are none, in that wetland down by, Greater Road, where Greater Road intersects with Skyline and,
Oh, and that long beaver pond?
yeah,
No,
there's none there.
no.
beavers chew them down.
I guess there's
stopped at
probably enough water over there now.
I don't know, it's getting pretty cooperative.
There are some at Wasserman, but they're not ours. In
No.
fact, I don't even think they're on Conservation Commission property. I
No.
think they're on somebody else's.
No, I'm not sure who. Yeah, we've gone down and looked at them a number of times, but
Yeah.
For the record, this is a great educational opportunity for me to tell people A, what we're doing, and B, why we're doing it.
We face them southwest on the,
See, do you really?
yeah,
You gonna explain why?
try to keep them as warm as possible. It's winter.
Built a little solarium.
But they migrate, right?
They're
Wood ducks.
Wood ducks, yeah,
Yeah, they come back in the spring.
yeah, I'm not sure how far they migrate though. I'm not sure where they,
They must migrate because they're not in there in the winter if you can clean them out.
Mm.
Because
Oh,
we
yeah,
have
they're
not
not-
discussed being attacked by ducks yet.
Good opportunity, but yeah,
Yeah.
if we notice the ice is thick enough that we can get out.
and do you have the guy's name, the company? It's like,
Yeah.
it's like Mike.
Greg's.
Wood Duck Box or something like that.
Yeah,
He's been, we should probably put a plug in for him too, because they've supplied us.
he has, and
Yeah, good quality duck boxes and at a very reasonable cost.
Very
because
reasonable.
What was it called?
It's Greg's Wood Duck Boxes, I believe,
yeah,
or something like that.
he's from your part of the country. He's from the northern Midwest.
Yeah, I'm not really sure where he's from.
Wait,
His
you're from the
website
northern
basically
Midwest?
says,
You're from the northern?
no, you
No.
are.
Me.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you pointed at him. I
No.
was like, someone else did.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
from up there somewhere. But I think it's his hobby.
Yeah, yeah. And he's supplied stuff to us at a very, very low cost,
Mhm.
because we're doing it for conservation and buying it, it's conservation. And it's a great deal because he sends wood duck boxes, and he, rounds all the corners and all the stuff that he shaves off. He puts in a bag and sends it with him, so you have shavings to put in the boxes.
Mhm.
So it's really does a nice job. Yeah.
Mhm.
And we had to save that mouse. Was that 2 years ago now? That stupid
Oh,
mouse.
we
remember
did.
that?
I hope I don't have mice in my garage. That's we
They were in
did
my
save
shed.
the mice.
We pulled it out we pulled a wood duck box, and all of a sudden across the snow goes this little mouse like. I'm like, oh dude, you're gonna die. We got him.
but
Got
you
him, put him back in the
relocated him.
shavings.
You didn't put them back in your shed, did
I
you?
did.
Oh no!
You saved a mouse.
I'm gonna
Imagine.
stomp on it or something. I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Let it find a new home.
Not in our charter, but
It
it was
was pretty
important to do.
Evolution, my
And
friend.
he was gonna die.
Survival of the fittest.
Well, yeah. Okay.
Natural selection. Just good for our words out.
I put him back in the shavings, and he went back and
All right, the last item we have on here is the mitigation opportunities proposal. I think this was all in the packet. Should have been. So we had a couple things. We had an email, and then there was a. I think this touches upon what we talked about at the beginning of the meeting, kind of having off the shelf ready mitigation type projects. I didn't reach out to this person. I figured we had time. We could talk about it tonight, figure out what our strategy might be. If anyone wanted to take this on and reach out to this person, I would suggest probably the right tool to use when you talk to him is use that map that GZA sent this out on email a few times. I can send it again if someone needs it. It's the map that GZA drew up that, color codes.
Shows the
and
most
assigns
valuable.
a mitigation priority for every parcel,
Yep.
1 through 20 throughout town. It even has a chart that explains why that mitigation score is what it is for that certain property.
So to clarify what this was saying, because it was written very
It took several reads.
yeah, they're saying they need a project because a mitigation project somewhere in the Merrimack watershed because they have another project that they're doing that requires mitigation, but they can't do it there.
That's what I got from it.
Okay.
Yeah, I also read from it that if we had viable mitigation type projects, they would coach us on how to present those in a way that the decision makers may find that it's a good ARM fund project. Because it sounded like TFM was getting ready to make an ARM fund contribution or donation contribution.
So, if you remember, a couple of months ago, a homeowner on Profile Drive approached us about a piece of his property that was adjacent to the Mitchelltown Forest that was mostly just unusable wetlands. Would something like that be suitable for this?
Is that on the GZA priority?
I have no idea.
it's water. Yeah, I mean, but that would be. I mean, Yeah, we could ask about it and find out what, but we're owning property, we'd be owning property or taking property control that's already relatively unbuildable. The chance of development is very low,
It would,
and we don't have to do anything to it to
right.
bring it back
Yeah, that-
into.
See, that's what I was
So that-
concerned about.
Yeah. I mean, but we
Because-
could, I mean, we can ask.
They talked about adjacent to an existing property
Yep.
and that, it is that.
Yep, it's definitely, I mean, that's a great suggestion, and perhaps something that would work.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, here's the town.
Mm-hmm. So, anyone,
So it's 10 to 14 point. It's in the 10 to 14 point range, which is the second to highest
yeah,
value.
I would start with the higher ones, because I think that GZA map, I mean, I think
Yep.
that makes, that in itself makes a compelling argument for why something's a good mitigation.
Gilmore Hill. Gilmore Hill.
No. Okay, it's not that we don't do anything in. There's no trails. It's just like it's right next to that bridge that isn't going to fall down, but it's at like 40% stability. The bridge they're building, the trail under by the fire department. What's that park by the fire department?
Oh, well, that's between Wildcat
Watson.
Falls and
That's
Watson Park,
Watson Park.
and they're connecting the two.
Mm-hmm.
Town
Yes,
Center Trail, yeah.
with the suspicious bridge.
Suspicious.
So
I watched
there's,
the last town meeting.
there's potential opportunity. I see it's one of our top 20 rated items. The Joseph Pinenberg land that's out near where the
Again, yeah,
old dump was.
there are a lot of great, I don't know that we need to identify one tonight. I think the process is someone should reach out to this person. Jay,
Do not-
I don't know how to pronounce that last name. Reach out and follow up and ask some questions and share with him that's a public, that we paid for that document. We can share that with him
What person
and
are we
review them and
contacting?
say, what would you need from us?
Someone from a previous meeting who approached us
Oh.
about this
Jeff
parcel.
Moran,
Got it.
Oh, all right.
Jay Adu.
We definitely know TF Moran. They come in
Yep.
here quite a bit and talk to us about proposed projects in town. So why don't we leave it with this? If someone feels like they got the bandwidth to take this on and call Jay and share with him that map, let me know this week. Otherwise, I'll find a time next week to do
Okay.
it.
I can say I'm not confident in what.
Then that's fine. We don't want to push someone beyond their comfort level. I just don't want to feel like I'm just wanted to offer it up in case someone else wanted to run with that. All right.
Hey, I'm on a 6.
That brings us to other business. We've talked a little bit about this. Again, I just, I wanted to give the reminder if we don't have, if the subcommittee doesn't have a schedule in, and I'm working with Scalar since they don't, well, yeah, I guess we do have a liaison with Scalar now. And you've been around those correspondences with George. He's eager to put something together.
Right. Yeah, I just touched bases with him, a couple, I think just after the last meeting. I haven't heard back from him.
Okay.
I'm still waiting.
Yeah.
But, I said to him, after the holidays, when
Mhm.
things start to quiet down, maybe when you're up in the spring and you're starting to get moving again.
Right. And
So,
get something on this.
Yeah.
And that's fine. As soon as we identify a date for that and all the others, community development really would like to put those meetings on the calendar just to make sure that they have the resources in place to support those. One, they reserve the meeting room if one's wanted. A lot of times they're in this room.
Who's taking care of the calendar now?
What calendar?
That may be part of the problem.
No, I mean, I mean, they're still showing up. 'Cause
Are
this is- Yeah, I mean, this is typically coming off of or it was in the past. This is what Cindy did.
Yeah,
She
you're on
ca-
Merrimack Outdoors?
Right. Well, she put the calendar. She put the dates of our meetings on the calendar and the subcommittee meetings on the calendar, because none of the subcommittees were on the town website.
Right.
Because
Oh,
the town appoints us. They didn't appoint the subcommittees, so the subcommittees were never part of the town calendar.
Okay. Yeah, they're not. Our
So-
website's not properly updated on that.
So anybody can subscribe to the Merrimack Outdoors calendar. And so anything you put on it would automatically show up in, whatever county you subscribe to. So if you're on the Merrimack Outdoors website, that's one you're taking care of.
Yeah.
So that calendar is probably the one that we can, it's already feeding out to people. There's some people that have
Yeah.
already subscribed to it and use it, like I do.
I wonder if that's how community development was knowing when the meetings were.
For
Probably.
Concom?
Yeah. Oh, no, for the subcommittees.
That might, yeah.
I bet it was.
Well, we were also submitting the
Right,
ComDev,
because we have to submit an agenda like 2 weeks before.
yeah, but we submitted the
Yeah.
year, like these are all the dates of the meetings.
It's happened at least once recently where we've had to tell a subcommittee they could not have the meeting because we missed, it wasn't scheduled in time and we didn't have an agenda. Had it been scheduled, community development probably would have prodded that subcommittee to, hey, we need the agenda so we can meet the posting deadline. But it's no one feels good about having to do that. I mean, that's what the statute says we have to do. We have to meet the RSA-91 requirements. But no one feels good about telling volunteers who wanted to meet and have a productive meeting that they can't do that because we missed these administrative deadlines. That was the only message I had about that.
Can I step back a minute to what
Oh,
we were talking
goodness.
about before?
Yes.
Okay. I do have a location for a mitigation opportunity.
So before you talk about that,
Yes.
typically if we're going to discuss land purchasing
I don't think it's land. Well, I don't know if it's land
or
purchasing. I don't know who owns it.
opportunities to purchase property, we
Yeah.
We want to
typically
keep
do
it
that in-
quiet.
Yeah, we typically do
And
that
we
in
don't need a
non-public.
specific here. The ask was
Okay.
who wanted to reach out to,
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
the gentleman that reached out to us.
And the person who reaches out doesn't necessarily need to have a project in mind.
No, I think it would be helpful, whoever reaches out, just to get their feedback on
Okay.
what is the
What are they
state
looking
currently
for?
finding most palatable for a mitigation project.
Okay.
It brings us to, we're winding down, approval of the minutes. Someone like to make a motion?
A motion to approve the minutes as amended?
Motion by Gage, second by Andrew. Who had corrections?
I wasn't there.
I didn't have any.
I didn't see anything, but I wasn't there either.
All right. Well, hearing no feedback about corrections, all those in favor of approving the minutes? 1, 2, 3, 4,
Oh.
5
I'll
in
approve,
favor,
yep.
and are you abstaining? Okay. And Andy and Karis abstain, so the minutes are approved. Anything I missed?
Can we go back to other business just a moment?
Yes,
I was-
we
I
can.
I wanted to ask a question about for the last meeting, I was not here, but the tree farm status,
Yes.
did we only have one parcel left supposedly?
Mhm.
Tree farm status, so was there any particular,
We declined to continue to participate in the meeting. I sent the person the note
in the program?
in the program, yes.
Okay, so we gotta take that sign down.
Oh, we do. Okay, is there a sign up? We should take
Yeah.
the sign.
Well, you can't see it now, it's all grown over by trees, but
By trees.
I do know where it
By
is.
trees, because
Yeah.
no harvesting is taking place.
So, all
Because there's not a forestry plan.
So there are other tree farms in town. I live right around the corner from one. And it's just a private piece of
Yeah,
property. that
well, I'm
he's
saying ones that
chosen.
we
Yeah,
manage.
that you-
Yeah,
I think that was, I think Mitchell
That
Woods
was
was the
the-
last one
I think
that
so.
we had.
So other one is actually quite near Mitchell Woods.
Would anyone like to
Okay.
make a final motion? Motion by Karis, second by Gage. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0. Meeting adjourned at 7:29.